My name's Dan. I'm a peddler with the Eastside Compost Peddlers in Austin, Texas. We pick up residential and commercial organic waste stream, basically to divert it from landfill.
We're about to break 100,000 pounds composted, all without burning any diesel fuel.
We love the compost peddlers because they do such a unique service for our community by literally driving around, picking up food scraps on the back of their bikes and taking it to places that need that for compost.
The material that we collect, we call it scrapple, and scrapple is anything that you can compost with the compost peddlers, and obviously that includes fruit and veggie scraps.
Some of the things that can go in are tea bags. Just put it right in your bucket, a whole tea bag.
If you compost 4 pounds, it turns into about a pound of finished compost.
The dryer lint, definitely, and a couple other things around the house that people might not think about. Pencil shavings, toilet paper rolls. When you're done with the roll, just put it in your compost bin. It helps to tear it up a little bit into smaller pieces so it composts more quickly.
We do have 2 kitchens in our building. One is the staff kitchen upstairs. On the first floor is a teaching and a commercial kitchen, and the bulk of what we're generating goes in those compost bins.
Sometimes I go through my spice drawer. I know I found these bay leaves that are very old, and they can all go in the compost, and you can recycle the bag. I want to talk about junk mail, right? We all get tons of junk mail. So if it's shiny paper, like catalogs, that goes in recycling. Shiny papers for recycling. Magazines, these cardboard inserts, these are great for composting. Tear them up, throw them in. And then as far as junk mail, if it's shiny or has a plastic window, go ahead and recycle that. But the contents are all perfectly good to throw in your recycling bin.
I was really surprised to see, even in a very progressive city like Austin, that there's so many people who have no idea what composting is or why someone would think of doing anything but throwing it all in one container and putting it at the curb. And so I just saw this beautiful connect between the amount of waste that we create and all of the people who are starting to get interested in growing their own food.
We're promoting that seed to table approach. Part of the entire food system is always what ends up back in our soil. And the best thing for our soil is compost. And where do you get that? You get that from your food scraps.
So I had this idea for the compost peddlers, and it was really just kind of a pipe dream idea, really, until I met Eric Goff, who's now my business partner.
I've always loved gardens. That's what got me interested in it, is like my experience doing gardening and stuff. So doing that, you stop being squeamish about compost and you start like really loving it.
Not everyone has the space or really the time to cultivate a compost pile. Since 2012, Eastside Compost Peddlers cycles to the rescue through 5 neighborhoods to collect residential and commercial compostables. Residential customers pay just $4 a week to spare the landfill and nourish their neighborhood farms and urban microgrowers.
I wanted to have a real direct environmental impact on my neighborhood. I just kind of like the solitude when I'm riding around early in the morning. I enjoy listening to podcasts while I do my work. I think that's pretty nice. I like that it's a physical job. I spent time, before doing this job, I spent time working in an office for several years, and I was very happy to start doing something physical that just made me sort of feel alive, I guess.
For efficiency and neighborhood connectivity, peddlers pick up and drop off within a few miles. Some neighbors donate their garage to store the Metrofeet's cargo bikes and supplies.
The pedaling's not bad. It's not hard to ride these bikes, even when there's several hundred pounds in them. What we do is we provide a bin, which is a 5-gallon bucket with a lid.
And the vacuum, all the pet hair that you vacuum up when you brush your cats or dogs, put the pet hair in the bucket, but certainly any of your vacuum contents right into the bin.
They fill it throughout the week, and I come by on the bike, stop, pick up their bucket. So what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna weigh my bin.
So as a member, you're able to go on the website and look at a scorecard that shows you in real time, updated each week, how much you've composted to date.
They sanitize with organic soap.
Because we put a paper bag in the bin every week, I tear it up just so that it breaks down a little bit more quickly. And we like to write little encouraging notes. Maybe not with this one.
30% of the residential waste stream is compostable, but if you're talking about the commercial waste stream, restaurants, it's more like 50 to 80%.
We have a lot of vegetable scrap, and instead of it going into a dumpster, it goes back into soil in our local community and creates more food for everybody.
We've been doing recycling the whole time, and we actually won an award from the city.
The fact that we're taking several hundred pounds of waste out of the landfill, I think more than makes up for the small cost that we pay.
We get more customers because we do it. We also changed the way our box looks.
You sort of do your route so that once you get to a point where you're loaded up, then you're right there at your drop site.
We drop them here or we drop them at local gardens, community gardens. They have the same sort of bays set up here.
And Dustin said he was even able to break up, like, a lot of the paper plates are pretty large, and when you can chop them into smaller pieces, then that's always going to help as well.
You don't want to put shredded paper in your recycling bin. It can jam up the recycling machines. It's really great for your compost bucket. It helps absorb a lot of the moisture. Danae has a bill, and this is a good idea, credit card offers or junk mail, so you're not going to have to worry about ID theft.
So this is the end of my route, or part of my route. What we do is we partner with a number of farms, community gardens, and just local growers, micro growers, and we provide our scraps to them.
We get probably a couple 100 pounds of compost from them a week, and then we're able to break that down, and we have multiple stages in our hot composting bays and a bay for all of our finished compost.
We compost at over 20 different urban farms, community gardens, and backyards.
Their margins are relatively thin, and so being able to provide a resource and to help those growers by providing nutrients is also really attractive to me.
Waste is also a man-made convention, right? Waste in nature does not exist. If you go walk around in the woods, there's no such thing as a landfill. And at the end of the day, we've diverted tons and tons of material from the landfill and used that to empower people to grow more food.